Following a less than stellar debate performance, questions about President Joe Biden's ability to lead have intensified. Even Vice President Kamala Harris admitted it was not his best performance, while highlighting Biden's effectiveness behind the scenes and a retort against his performance.
Listen, people can debate on style points, but ultimately this election and who is the president of the United States has to be about substance. And the contrast is clear. Look at what happened during the course of the debate. Donald Trump lied over and over and over again, as he is wont to do. He would not disavow what happened on January 6th. He would not give a clear answer on whether he would stand by the election results this November.
He was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. You must, I mean, that's certainly true, is it not?
Anderson, the point has to be performance in terms of what a president does. A president who incites an insurrection against the Capitol. No, but I got the point that you're making about a 1.5 hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance in work that has been historic. So I'm not going to spend all night with you talking about the last 90 minutes when I've been watching the last 3.5 years of performance.
Well, this duality, I should say, of President Biden, the leader on one hand who can negotiate bipartisan deals, and the aging politician struggling on the debate stage, has stirred significant debate within the party. Some Democrats are quietly questioning if Biden should step aside, while others, including allies of Vice President Harris, are frustrated by the lack of consideration she receives as a potential successor. The president's performance at the recent debate, where he appeared lost and delivered meandering answers, has only heightened concerns. However, the Biden campaign quickly rebounded at a campaign rally, I should say, a couple of days afterwards, acknowledging his shortcomings while emphasizing his experience and commitment to the truth.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious. Well, I know. Well, I don't. Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
But here's the crux of the debate. Is it too late in the race now for Biden to step down, as people are asking him to? And if he doesn't, can Democrats still secure a win in 2024? Now, the White House has meticulously managed Biden's schedule to counteract concerns about his age, but the question remains, are these measures enough? So, guys, Dex, I'll ask you first. Should Biden step down? And if so, is it too late for another candidate to step in and save the day for the Democrats?
No, I don't think that he should step down. I think the fact that people are saying that he should step down is insane. Specifically, like when the debate first ended, Republicans were saying it, right? And then they were like, well, Democrats are thinking this. And the fact that Democrats actually came out and were like, yeah, well, maybe he should. I think that is insane. Like it's almost kind of like one of those things where if you use like a sports analogy, like you literally are just wide open. You're just giving your playbook out. Like, why would you do that? Why would you expose your weaknesses to your opponent? It makes no sense to me. And then like when Democrats are saying this stuff, obviously Republicans are going to agree with them. That's why I thought for the first time in her career, Kamala Harris made a lot of sense. Like she was really on
what you're not going to do
with the Cooper stuff. Like I'm like, this makes sense. Like you need to have a united front, and the fact that they don't have that, and on Donald Trump's side, even despite him lying throughout the debate, there's a united front over there. And on the Democratic side, they're like, oh, maybe he should step down. Do you know how crazy that looks?
Damian, how do you feel about the fact that the vice president pointed out that Trump did a lot of lying during that debate, and that might counteract all of the stuttering and pauses that Biden had.
Yeah, Trump didn't lie, and the thing about and y'all are laughing about that, but because that's all you've heard, you've heard, right? But if you really dig into the details and listen to what Trump said, he didn't tell any lies, right? But if you listen to what Biden was saying, Biden lied about several things, and he also has a record of lying about marching during the civil rights era. He also, in the past, has lied about his academic record as well. So when people talk about politicians lying, they all lie. So let's not act like Joe Biden is this beacon of truth with his 50-year career, right? But to your point about what the vice president said, Biden already had weaknesses. They tried their best to hide their weaknesses, right? They put him in a bunker for all of 2020, didn't really let him do a lot of interviews, right? And then
wasn't Trump in a bunker for COVID? Remember that?
No, he wasn't in the bunker for COVID. He was he was hiding in the bunker when they were protesting in DC. Yeah. That's where he was hiding.
He was in his house.
And also, just real quick, Damon, you said that Trump did not lie about something. So would you say that he misspoke when he said that you can have an abortion after a baby is born? Because he said that, and that's a lie.
I would call that as misspeaking.
But
he also said a relatively small people went to the Capitol and were ushered in, and that also is untrue.
No. There's some truth to that. But let me ask you this: if there's Biden also said we finally beat Medicaid or something. Would you call that lying or misspeaking?
When you say finally beat it.
Yeah, it depends on what you define as beat.
Yeah.
So we're getting into
it makes no sense. But here's the point I'm making.
Let me ask a question. So because you're going hard for this convicted felon, right? Mm-hmm. You were a member of the United States Air Force.
Yes, sir.
So if you had 34 felony convictions and you had 11 bankruptcies, could you get a security clearance?
I probably couldn't, but
no, not probably. You absolutely could not, and you know you couldn't. But you want the man who has 34 felony convictions, financial fraud, and 11 bankruptcies and convictions of sexual assault to be in charge of the. Not only that, the man who delayed and deferred going into the military during the draft and lied about that. You want him to be in charge of the military and then be the president? Are we serious right now?
Wait, but that's a great question, Bill. But here's the thing. We already
that question. Don't hand me no talking point.
No. Listen, no. I love the question. We already have a record of Trump as the president. It's not like he's a newcomer and we don't know what he would do, right?
He had the worst record in
no, sir. Let me tell you something. The highest level of inflation during Trump's presidency was 2.9%. 2.9%, and he handed that to Joe Biden. Inflation reached 9% under the Biden administration. Trump had a great economy, right? Let me say this. I don't know if most of your viewers are black, but also when you talk about the PPP money that was put on the table for black businesses to start seed money to start their businesses, right? Listen, we haven't seen another administration to invest and to empower black business in that way. You may not like Trump,
they empowered the black business though because of COVID, and we had a natural disaster, a pandemic that we've never seen the likes of in the history. That's why it wasn't a gift for black people.
And do you think Trump handled COVID well?
Listen, there's no president that can gift wrap anything for a specific group of people by race. But when you pass these appropriations bills and you give this money to the American people, there are some groups that can benefit from it, and black people did greatly benefit. Black businesses did greatly benefit from that. So listen, you don't have to like Trump, but what we can't do is distort his record and how great his administration was. Let me say the last part. I'll be quiet. And we did not. And the country would say we did not go to war. We were in no conflicts as well.
But can I just I don't want to interrupt you because I want you to get your point out. But let me just ask you this: This happened because of COVID, correct?
What happened?
Like the PPP money and all that stuff that was given because of COVID, correct?
It was in response to help keep the economy strong and to support the
during COVID.
Yes.
So, do you think Trump handled COVID well? Like, were you impressed with how he handled COVID?
To be
and let's
honest,
just keep in mind, like we can like who we like or whatever, but this is the same person who said you can drink some bleach. He said if you don't get tested, then that means you don't.
Here's what y'all need to know about me. I like Trump, but I don't agree with Trump on everything.
But
right?
that's what I want. But
yeah. No.
As far as COVID, do you agree that he handled it poorly?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, I think some of his language as it relates to COVID was wild.
And actions.
I think he could have handled it. But I'm gonna say this though, in his defense, we don't know how
to defend it. Like you just said, you don't agree with everything.
Hear me out. No, hear me out. This is what I always say. This though, the pandemic was a once in a lifetime occurrence.
Right.
No other president that I know of faced something like that. And when you've never faced something, you got to learn how to deal with it, and it might kick you in your mouth, right? And so he struggled dealing with it day to day, how to combat it, how to get some vaccines on the table. It was tough. Listen,
he didn't have
the pandemic.
There was a playbook already handed out to him.
No, there was no.
He chose not to read it.
There was no playbook.
Let's answer the question on the topic. Do you think that the Democrats need to? Because we totally went away from that.
I forgot what the question was. Yeah,
right. Do you think Democrats can maintain unity and win if Biden stays in the race, or is a change in leadership?
Oh, let me tell you something.
For them to get victory.
Be it Biden, be it Kamala Harris, be it Gretchen Whitmer, be it Gavin Newsom, it doesn't matter who's the Democratic nominee. They are not going to win this year. Let me tell you something. The Democrats have done a poor job of messaging the last several years. And because of that, you've seen a hemorrhaging of black people leaving the party, particularly black men, and because their messaging has been, James Carville, a very seasoned Democratic strategist, said this: their messaging is too feminine. Too many women wagging their finger at men, right? Calling them toxic, calling them problematic, things of that nature. There are also some issues about supporting the nuclear family as well, right? So therefore, there's nothing that they can do. And then here's the thing. And then you trot out this career politician who clearly has cognitive issues, but they've been lying about it for 2 years as though folks are stupid and can't see clearly what's in front of them. Just from an objective standpoint, listen, I don't like Joe Biden, but just from an objective standpoint, if you can clearly see that this man has cognitive issues, why would you want him to lead the free world? Just the question that Bill just asked me a minute ago. If you see these issues,
do you think Trump has any cognitive issues?
And according to a report, he's only awake from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. How can he lead America?
Let Ty ask what he was going to ask.
I hear you, Bill. That's my choice.
Do you think Trump has any cognitive issues at all?
That's very important to know.
You know what? That's a good question, Ty. None that I can see.
What?
None that I can see.
You ever watch our segment called "What Did the Trump Say"?
No, I'm not a doctor, Ty, but none that I could see as it relates to what we see with Biden.
Well, but you can see Biden's cognitive issues, but not Trump's.
We have
what do you see? Because I don't see it.
Well, we have a segment on this show. It's called "What Does the Trump Say?" and it's a part of the show where we like to guess Trump's blunders because he often has them, right? And those might not be considered cognitive issues to you, but to some people, those could be considered.
He's a neurologist who studied neurology at Johns Hopkins University. Those are clearly cognitive issues.
I'm not a neurologist, so I can't see it.
One more Trump question I have for you. Do you really think he was 215 pounds when he got arrested?
Listen. Does Trump embellish sometimes? Yes. Is he a great storyteller? Listen, I don't agree with Trump on everything. I
but
don't.
Do you agree that he was 215 pounds?
No, Trump ain't been 215 probably since he was a teenager.
No. Thank you. Okay, at least we're talking.
So wait a minute.
You can see a little bit of reality. All right, let's just guess this word really quick. It's an oldie but goodie. Let's see what we got.
Carried out by Ray.
What did he say?
I think he was saying carried out by racists. Carried out by racism.
Okay, it's close. It's close.
Carried out by race baiters.
No, I mean that wasn't really it. You said carried out by race baiters. That's interesting. No, that wasn't it. It wasn't carried out by racists. It wasn't carried out by race baiters. Let me see if I can find it, the actual clip for you really quick. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here goes the clip. So it wasn't any of those, but it was fairly longer. And here's what it ended up being. Let's see if this clip sounds a little familiar to anyone. Do you guys remember what this clip was? Did anyone have a guess?
I can never remember what he said. You know that.
Let's see if we could get it.
And as you know, I've come here from New York, where I'm being forced to endure a Biden show trial, all done by Biden, carried out by that's right, all being done by him, carried out by radical Democrat district attorney.
No cognitive issues there at all.
No, listen, y'all see how much golf that Trump plays, and he's actually very good at golf. Talking about lying. Talking about lying. Have y'all seen Biden play golf?
Have you seen Donald Trump play golf? There's no way Donald Trump is winning.
I play golf. I play golf.
I learned golf from Tiger Woods. There's no way Donald Trump.
You ain't learning from Joe Biden.
I didn't need to learn from Joe Biden. I learned from the best in the game.
All right, we gotta move.
This.
We gotta move, Bill.
Donald Trump. We're going to move. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. He has 34 felonies.
What's it have to do with his golf game?
Oh, I don't care nothing about his golf game. He sucks playing golf also. He only wins his own club championships because it's his club.
But let me say this to that point. You keep lifting up that point about 34 felonies and so forth, right? Number one,
I want to run in my country, not
here's what the numbers say. The numbers say that two-thirds of black men under the age of 23 have a criminal record.
And right? They can't vote.
No.
Vote.
Let me finish what I'm saying. No, that's not true. And I think only in 9 states, I believe, either way around. Somebody fact check me on that. But also, you made me lose my train of thought.
You were talking about black men.
We all have somebody in our family that has a criminal record of some sort. No, but most of us do. We got somebody in our family, right? But even if you did, every time you see them, you're not going to ostracise them and say, "Oh, hey, Uncle Felony." Hey,
but I'm also not running for president.
Wait, Damon, you are right. I definitely would not say to my relative, like, you got that felony, but I will not leave my door unlocked around them either, though.
yeah, but Donald Trump wasn't convicted of stealing or violent crime. It wasn't violent crime. It was administrative errors on paperwork. No, and normally these things are not. Normally these things are not even felonies. They're normally misdemeanors, and they were kicked up to felonies because this was, as Trump said, a show trial and a witch hunt.
You were in the Air Force.
We should move to the next part.
You were in the Air Force. 34 felonies. You can't serve, let alone.
It was a witch hunt, Bill.